Welcome to the Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center. In 2004, a national level institute AMGITA has been started in the field of engineering and technology as per guidelines of All India Council for Technical Education AICTE New Delhi. AMGITA is approved by AICTE New Delhi, Gujarat State and affiliated to Gujarat Technological University Ahmedabad, which is also known as GTU. Our goal is to be an institute of generative ideas so that we remain relevant to our society. The AMGITA has always been an organization on move with continuous effort on improving its processes and to maintain its relevance to the Indian science scenario, with adding new programs in its programmatic portfolio. We strongly believe in overall development of students, so for that we provide them a different platform like state level tech fest, project fair, different sports activity, which helps students to teach teamwork and problem solving skills to get physical health benefits, boost self esteem, and reduce pressure and stress for prove their skills in distinct area. Welcome to the virtual class of Power System Transient MESM3. Myself, Professor Gaurang Patel from Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari from Electrical Engineering Department. Okay, today what we are going to learn, we are going to learn those topics of your subject Power System Transient. Okay, just a moment. So first of all, we will begin with the introduction of power system transients, then source of transients, traveling waves, then lightning transients, computation of transients, protection of systems, then insulation coordination. Okay, so what we will do, we will take one by one topic during the different video lecture session. In this video lecture we are going to through the introductory part of each and every content. Okay, so begin with the introduction of power system transient. So what is the power system transient, what is the definition of it, and how much importance it is having. Okay, so because before learning of any subject, we do know why we are going to learn this subject. Okay, what it will be benefited to us after learning this subject. Okay, then after we will go to the source of transients. Over here you can see in source of transient, we will see what are the different sources or what are the reasons that transients occur in the power system. Then traveling waves, it is one of the phenomenon occur in the power system. Traveling waves, it is harmful for the our household as well as the industrial equipments. Then we will go through the lightning transients. Lightning transients, we all know about the lightning, which is a natural phenomenon occur. Okay, and we will see deeply throughout this lecture video lecture series that each and every topic, so you will be understood very well. Then we will see computation of transient. Okay, so in computation of transient, that means how we can compute how those transients will be harmful to our system and what is the severity. For that there is a particular equipment is giving, and we have to use those particular equipment to find out the severity of that particular transient wave. Okay, then of course the protection. Once we learn what are the sources, what are the reasons, what is the severity, that it is our responsibility as an electrical engineer that protect our equipments from those transients. Okay, and then finally we will take some of the glimpse regarding the insulation coordination, because insulation is the first part that's begin or that will start to affected by the transients. Okay, so one by one, as I told you, we will see throughout this lecture session. just a moment. Okay, so we will start with the introduction of power system transients. So over here we can see the definition of the transient. If I want to say you that the transients are sub-cycle events, that is lasting less than one cycle of the AC waveform. Okay, and its occurrence can be random. Okay, the effect on device varies depending on the device itself and its location in the electrical system. So it depends which instruments we are going to be used, or which instruments at which location we are going to be used. Okay, and one more important thing, that is they are difficult to detect because of their short duration. Okay, conventional meters are not able to detect or measure them due to their limited frequency response or sampling rate. For example, if we can take, if a transient occurs for 4 milliseconds and is characterized by a frequency content of 40 kilohertz, then you can imagine that the measuring instrument must have a frequency response or sampling rate of at least 10 times of that occurring transient. That means it would be the 40 kilohertz or 400 kilohertz in order to fairly describe the characteristic of the transient. Okay, okay, in other words, we can see transient is an outward manifestation of a sudden changes in circuit condition. Okay, that is whenever the switches in the power system, whether you are opening the circuit breaker or closing the circuit breaker, or a fault occurs in the system, a sudden disturbance take place in entire power system. Okay, this period is called a transient. Okay, or for clear those particular part, there is we have very short time. If you are not giving importance for this transient, it leads to the entire collapse of electrical network, or you can say your system will going to be heavily damaged during this transient period. Okay, then you can say the circuit components are subject to a greater stress, or we can say that when transient occurs, because the severity of transients are very high. Because if we consider there is a normal period or normal magnitude of voltage, that is for single phase that is 230 volt, or if we consider the three phase voltage, there is a 415 volt. Most probably we are going to work with the three phase system that is functioning with the 415 volt. But during that transient period, it is that period is suddenly increased. Okay, for if suppose from the nominal voltage to the 5 to 6 times or more than that. Okay, so if 400 voltage, if we consider the 5 times, then it will become a 2000 volt. So that amount of magnitude is heavily damaged to your equipment, and it maybe results in your plant shutdown or a complete blackout. Okay, so moving further, we will see in this figure there is one waveform is given, and as I told you that if we consider this waveform, you can see this is the period of normal condition. Okay, this is the period of normal condition. Okay, if we consider this period of as a normal condition, the maximum voltage is nearly going to the 200 or 230 volt as per our rated voltage. Okay, and this particular period, that is known as a transient period. Okay, you can see it is a very minor period, but it affects heavily because you can see the magnitude. The thing is that their magnitude is very higher. Okay, it's nearly a 1000 volt. So you can imagine when our equipment is designed to sustain for the 230 volt, and suddenly it got the nearly 1000 volt, it will definitely going to have some effect on that particular equipment. That's why these transients having much seriousness for that particular equipment. Okay, or we can say if we are not going to taking care of this, that will definitely cost you as a damage of your equipment. Okay, then we will move towards the different sources of the transient. Okay, so over here we can see there are different sources of the transient. First, that is capacitor switching. Then you can see there is a current interruption due to the motors or any other loads, etc. We can see if we start a motor or if we disconnect the motor from the system, there will be current interruption will be there. Then one major cause, that is power electronics operation. That is, nowadays we are going to measure equipment with, for the controlling of that equipment we are going to use the power electronic equipments. Then electrostatic discharge, you can see the arc welding, copy machines, or another factors, those are faulty wiring or circuit breaker operation. That means faulty wiring or faulty circuit breaker operation, contact and relay closure, and load startup or disconnect. Okay, faulty wiring or circuit breaker operation means sometimes what happen, even in minimum or minor fault, that relay will going to send a false signal to the breaker, and due to that false signal what happen, it will actuate the circuit breaker and it will open the circuit breaker unnecessarily. Okay, that, and when that circuit breaker will be open and the big system or big load will was connected with that circuit breaker, so it suddenly open of the circuit breaker, there are some spikes happens or some disturbance happen during that period of opening of circuit breaker. That's why it is considered over here. Okay, so I hope you understand those are the major sources of transients. Okay, so now if you understood the sources of transients, then we can move forward towards the traveling waves. Okay, first of all we will going through the definition of traveling waves. So over here it is written down that traveling wave is a temporary wave that creates a disturbance and moves along the transmission line at a constant speed. Such type of wave occurs for a short duration, for a microseconds, but cause a much disturbance in the line. Okay, it will for the short duration, as we know the transients, but it will occurs, it will causes a lot to your system or in your line. Okay, here I included one of the figure related the it is known as a specification of traveling wave. Okay, you can see over here there are different division I made it over here. There is a magnitude, crest, front, and tail, or you can see there are different parts of the traveling wave. So what those parts are described, that first of all we being going through this particular area which is known as the crest. Okay, so definition, or you can say what is the crest is, it is the maximum amplitude of the wave and it is expressed in kV or in kilo ampere. So what crest says, it is the maximum amplitude of the wave. Okay, then we will move towards this, the front part of that. Okay, so it is the portion of the wave before the crest and is expressed in time for the beginning of the wave to the crest value in milliseconds per microsecond. So this part is considered as a particular that front part, and finally that is the tail. These all are the parts of traveling wave. Okay, first we discuss that is crest, front, and finally we are going to discuss that is a tail. Okay, so what is the tail? The tail of the wave is the portion beyond the crest. Okay, which part is knowing as the tail? The portion beyond the crest. So it is expressed in time from the beginning of the wave to the point where the wave has reduced to 50% of its value at its crest. So it must be reduced. This is the 50% of this part from the beginning. Okay, at the value of the crest. So these are the different definitions for the crest, front, and tail when you analyzing the traveling wave. Okay, and then so after traveling waves we will move toward the lightning, sorry, it is lightning transients. Okay, so we all know what is the lightning, and now we are going to understand what is the effects of lightning in our power system or in our transmission line. That is due to the lightning, what are the capabilities of the voltage is increased or magnitude of the voltage is increased due to the lightning. Okay, so uh, if we investigated since that Benjamin Franklin's first research in 1979, okay, has paradoxically become a growing threat to our highly electronic society. Okay, the lightning is a natural phenomenon defined as electrical shock between two zones. Okay, it is a natural phenomenon occurs. Okay, and it is defining between the two zones of opposite polarity, that is between the cloud and the ground, that is or you can say it is between the positively charged particles and negatively charged particles. Okay, so whenever this condition occurs, the result is current lasting some tens of microseconds, which will generate side effects, that transient over voltages which are much more destructive than the discharge itself. Okay, so for that, the development and the increasing brittleness of electronic or computing equipment at a bigger sensitivity with surges. Okay, the lightning constitutes a real threat for companies, not only for the companies equipment, but it is also for the independent professions as well. Okay, so to protect those lightnings, what are the major steps we can take? That is, we have to protection consists in capturing the discharge to divert from its initial target. We have to divert those lightning stroke from that initial target. That is the best way to protect our equipments from that lightning. Okay, so this is the light all about the lightning transient. This is the definition of lightning transients which I already discussed with you. That is, the lightning is a natural phenomenon defined as electrical shock between two zones of opposite polarity, between the cloud and the ground. The result is a current lasting some tens of microseconds, which will generate side effects or transient over voltages. Okay, so after lightning transients, we will going towards the computation of transients. Okay, so what do we mean by the computation of transients? So first of all, the computation, that is we now interested to measure the severity of the transient for the protection of our electrical equipment. So once we know what what are the severity conditions or what are the magnitude of transient that will going to affect or that will going to damage our system, so that only we can know about from the analysis of the waveform, and those analysis of waveform we can do or we can done with the computation. Okay, so basically what it includes, that we can say that the simulation of electromagnetic transient is an important topic in power system studies, as I discussed. Okay, why it is important. Okay, and if we go further, the concept of transients and the specific case of electromagnetic transient is based on conducting the detailed analysis of waveforms in time domain. Okay, so the power system has a natural response. We know that it has a natural response. That means if some of the minor faults, it will be corrected by itself. Our power system is capable of that, we all know about that. Okay, so we can say that the power system has a natural response, and another, that is the forced response. Okay, the forced response is known as the steady state condition, and the forced response may include harmonics in addition to the fundamental frequency sinusoidal waveform. Okay, in most cases, transients are studied after reaching a steady state operating conditions, in which an external or internal perturbation may occur, or we can say, when we study the transient after the reaching the steady state operating condition. Okay, and if in another words, if we want to say, that is, transients are normally studied in the design stage for guaranteeing robustness by selecting appropriate apparatus and verifying insulation levels. Okay, guaranteed robustness means that whatever the equipments we design, it must be worked with a very reliable to the power system, that will make assured to each and every consumers that they will get a reliable supply from the power system or power supply manufacturing equipment. So, okay, so what happened in some cases, it is also useful to study transients in post-mortem conditions. Post-mortem conditions means if some fault is occurred, and what are the reasons behind this faults. If we want to find out those conditions, we have to analyze all those waveforms during that particular faulty conditions. Okay, and one more thing I would like to discuss, that transients can result in excessive current and voltage conditions and damage power system components. So that's why computation of transients are very important due to those factors which I already discussed to you. Uh, Here we will see some of the methods of the computation of transient. That is, first, that is graphical user interface and data input, then solving differential equations, network solution principles with circuits and controls, then non-linearities, initialization, and programming. Okay, from those methods we can compute or we can analyze the transient signal. Okay, so now after computation of transients, we will move toward the protection side. Okay, so here we can see, just a moment, I will just lift it over here. That is the protection system and equipments against transient over voltages. Okay, so after knowing all the things, why transients are there, what is the reasons, and what is the worst effect of transient, as a power system engineer or as an electrical engineer, our duty is to protect our equipment or our system with this dangerous phenomenon called transients. Okay, so here I will just show you. So there is a different conditions we can see in first figure, that particularly it is known as the resistively coupled transients, or I will write it down for you over here. That is, just a moment, it is, sorry, resistively coupled transients. Okay, this particular first figure, if we concentrate, it will known as a resistively coupled transient. So what does it means? What it will tells us, that is uh, resistively coupled transients are caused by differences in potential between two connected earths. That is, in between two connected earths, we can see these are the equipments and this is the earthing. So whenever the higher potential is occur, it will find the lowest part. It is a tendency of the electricity, we can see. So in here we can see the resistively coupled transients are caused by differences in potential between two connected earths. That is, energy from ground strikes flows away through the path of least resistance and increase the potential in local earths, cabling and electronic circuitry. Okay, where these are linked to separate earths by a metallic service line, the potential is shared, creating transient over voltages as the current attempts to flow. So whenever it will find the lowest resistance part, it will pass it through that way. So it is, that is known as the resistively coupled transient. Now this second figure over here, you can see, which is known as inductively coupled transient. This first one is resistively coupled transients. It is known as the inductively coupled transients. Okay, so inductively coupled transients means it is caused by electromagnetic pickup. Okay, inductively coupled transients caused by the electromagnetic pickup. A lightning discharge gives rise the electromagnetic field. You can say that lightning discharge is happened between these two clouds. Okay, so whenever that lightning discharge happen, it will rise the electromagnetic field. Okay, if metallic services such as overhead power lines pass through this field, a voltage will be picked up by or induced onto the line. So whenever this condition happens, if metallic line comes into the way of that lightning discharge, that means if we see there is our metallic lines that will come into that particular part, so that potential is going to be rise, and which is known as the inductively coupled transients. Okay, and this is the sum of the waveform over here, which is having the transient magnitudes. Okay, so I hope you understand this resistively coupled transients and inductively coupled transients, how it will be happen and how we can deal with it. Okay, then next, just a moment. Okay, then next we will see how we can protect our equipments through that from that transient. Okay, this is the figure that our equipments are going to be protected with different protective devices. What are those protective devices? I will show you some of the devices I listed for you over here. So this is the protection of transmission line against lightning, then lightning shielding of substation. Okay, these are the ways of protection to give our equipments. Okay, then next one, that is the surges suppressors and lightning arresters, surge capacitors and surge reactors, transient voltage and grounding, surge protection scheme for industrial drive system. So those are the ways with the use of that we can protect our power system or equipment of the power system. Okay, so after protection of system, we will go through the insulation coordination. Okay, so insulation is a very important factor or very important term when we are dealing with the any equipment or any power system protection devices, because whenever the transient occurs, the first effect is going to be on insulation. Okay, so the first part is come into the picture or come into the way of the transient, that is the insulation, because insulation is first going to damage. Okay, so we will discuss the basic definition of insulation coordination. First of all, the insulation coordination is the process knowing the insulation levels of the power system components. In other words, we can say it is the process of determining the insulation strength of the equipment. Okay, it is the process of determining the insulation strength of the equipment, or you can say to knowing the levels of the insulation of that particular devices. Okay, now whenever we consider the insulation coordination, that is we can say that uh, insulation coordination is the process of selecting the most effective equipment dielectric strength and its application to avoid equipment insulation damage or affect continuity of service. Okay, so after deciding the precise value of insulation, we can protect them from the damages of that particular harmonics or particular transients. Okay, and when we going to design a particular equipment with proper insulation coordination, then the economic design of a reliable substation requires a study of the various over voltages. So whenever you are going to design those equipments, you must have to consider the study of the different excuse me, that different over voltages you must have to consider into this part. Okay, so that insulation will be subjected such as switching transients, fault conditions, power frequency resonance conditions, or lightning impulses. Okay, then at another part, if we say that at the beginning or at the planning stage, this analysis is very effective. Okay, in the beginning, that or the planning stage, that means when you are going to design or when you are starting to design the protective equipments, this insulation analysis is going to be very important, because the effective way to identify cost saving opportunities when specifying equipment rating. So it will the most effective way to specifying the cost effective ratings as well. Okay, then after identifying the location and levels of maximum over voltage stresses, helps they design the facilities to take into account minimum clearance and space requirement for that particular equipments or for placement for over voltage protection equipment. Okay, so to achieve a safe protection of the facilities under normal or contingency scenarios, so that insulation levels helps you to achieve the facilities for the normal and contingency scenarios. Okay, then you can see, first of all, this is the definition which I discussed with you. What definition says, I would like to repeat you one more time that definition. That is, insulation coordination is the process of knowing the insulation levels of the power system components. Okay, or in other words, we can say it is the process of determining the insulation strength of the equipment. And insulation coordination also subjected such as the switching transients, fault conditions, power frequency resonance conditions, and lighting pulses as well. Okay, these factors are also considered when you are going to discuss the insulation coordinations. Okay, so here you can say this is the introductory part of your subject. Okay, and further I would like to share a GTU syllabus, and I would like to discuss the GTU syllabus with you, so it will help you for the preparation of this subject. So here there is the syllabus of power system transients. It is having the subject code that is 3730712. Okay, so basically first of all we'll go through the teaching schemes. You can see over here for the teaching scheme it is a 70 marks of theory exam, then 30 marks of mid-sem exam. There is no practicals over there, you can see in that. Okay, then afterwards we can see the content which is including this subject. In first in first chapter, that is the I will just move this towards over here. So in first chapter these are some of the parts, that is, just a moment, source of transients, various types of power system transients, effect of transient on power system, importance of study transients for insulation design, which is included in first chapter. Okay, then so in second chapter, the name of the second chapter, that is traveling waves on transmission line, which is having the contents, that is circuit with distributed constants, the wave equation, reflection and refraction of traveling waves, then behavior of traveling waves, lattice diagrams, attenuation and distortion of traveling waves, switching operations involving transmission lines, multi-conductor systems and multi-velocity waves, switching surges on an integrated systems, and problem of related topics. Okay, these are the contents of the second chapter. Then move towards the third chapter, that is lightning transients. Lightning transients having starting with the introduction, then scope of lightning problem, the physical phenomenon of lightning phenomena, charge formation in the clouds, rate of charging of thunderclouds, mechanism of lightning strokes, computation of specific lightning events, induced lightning surges, protection afforded by ground wires, tower footing resistance, interaction between lightning and power systems, and mathematical model of lightning. Okay, these all are in the third chapter. For fourth chapter, computation of transients, it's having the digital computer, the electromagnetic transients, program for EMTP, that is stands for electromagnetic transient programming, and the hybrid program. Okay, and here this is the fifth chapter of your subject, power system transients. The chapter name, that is protection of system and equipments against transient over voltages. So this chapter is all about the protection of that system equipments. It's begin with the introduction, then protection of transmission line against lightning, lightning shielding of substation, surges suppressors and lightning arresters, application of surge arresters, surge capacitors and surge reactors, surge protections of rotating machines, transient voltages and grounding practices, protection of control circuits, surge protection scheme, and industrial drive system problems. Okay, it's all about the chapter number 5. Then chapter number 6, look, we will see what are the contents including the chapter number 6. The chapter number 6 name of this chapter, that is insulation coordination. Okay, it is having some basic idea about insulation coordination, then the strength of insulation, then we have to learn the hierarchy of insulation coordination, test voltage waveforms and transient ratings, determination and statistical approaches to the insulation coordination. So this all about this subject of power system transients, which is having 6 chapters, and each and every chapters are very interesting and very important regarding to the power system. Okay, and these are the reference books. You can say, we can see in, we can use the first reference book, that is the Electrical Transient in Power System by Alan Greenwood, very publication in second edition. The second reference book, that is the Extra High Voltage AC Transmission by R.D. Begamudre with the New Age intonation. Okay, then third one, that is High Voltage Engineering by M.S. Naidu and V.K. Kamaraju, which is published by Tata McGraw-Hill, second edition 2000. Then fourth one, that is Power System Transient Statistical Approach by C.S. Indukar, D.P. Kothari and K. Ramalingan. Okay, and the last one you can see, that is book number 5, that is P. Kundar, Power System Stability and Control. Okay, by Tata McGraw-Hill. Okay, so these all are about the syllabus, GTO syllabus of this subject, and these are the reference books that you can use to going to learn this subject. Okay, so I hope you will if you understood so many things about the introductory parts of these subjects. Okay, so finally I would like to share some of the outcomes of this subject. After studying this subject, you able to learn quantitative foundation of the mechanism of lightning strokes and the production of lightning surges, to understand how the various types of transients in the system produced. Okay, then after you will also going to learn about obtain the theoretic basis of the propagation, reflection and refraction of traveling waves, for modeling of transmission line and traveling waves. Okay, you are also going to learn about the concepts of the impact of voltage transients caused by circuit breaker, as we discussed in our video lecture. Also the switch, what are the effects of switching on integrated power system, and then you are going to know about the some of the facts about the design of insulation under the presence of transients and protection of power system against transients over voltage. Okay, these all are very important things that you are going to learn throughout this subject. Okay, so I hope this video lecture you understand very well, and it will be going to a very informative to you. Okay, thank you very much.